Okay, I'm going to do an example of finding an inverse. So you could be given a function f of x, g of x, h of x, doesn't matter. So we're going to look at f of x equals, say, 2 square root 1 minus x. And what we need to find is f inverse of x. So the first thing you do with all these problems is let y equal to 2 times the square root 1 minus x. And with all these functions, inverses, the first thing you do is change your x and y terms. So this now becomes x equals to 2 times the square root of 1 minus y. Now we solve for y. So I can divide by 2 here, but what I'm going to do is simply square both sides. Get rid of the radical, so x squared is equal to 2 squared, which is 4. And the radical squared is simply 1 minus y. Now I can divide by 4 here again, but I'm going to bring it in. Either one's fine. So I'll get x squared equal to 4 minus 4y. I'll bring the 4y over, so it's going to be x squared plus 4y is equal to 4. From here, I can see that 4y is equal to 4 minus x squared. And now I simply divide both sides by 4. And that's your inverse. So y is equal to 4 minus x squared over 4. And typically we write it this way. F inverse of x is equal to 4 minus x squared all over 4. That's our answer. Now we can actually verify it by finding the composite function f of f inverse of f, or f inverse of f of x. In both cases, they're going to equal to x. So we know that if we do this properly, we will get x as our answer. So I'm going to find this f of f inverse of x, which again is a composite function, f of f inverse of x. And I simply replace this term with the inverse. So it's f of 4 minus x squared all over 4. Prior to writing here, this goes back into the original equation. I replace this x with this term right here. So what I'm going to have is 2 times the square root of 1 minus 4 minus x squared all over 4. Okay, so I could get a common denominator. In this case is 4. So replace 1 with 4 over 4. So I'll have 4 minus 4. We'll bring this negative inside here. This negative and this negative give you a positive x squared all over 4. It's x squared, by the way. These terms cancel. So we've got 2 times the square root of x squared over 4. Well, the square root of x squared is simply x, and the square root of 4 is 2. Since those 2's cancel, x is my answer, and we've actually verified that it is, in fact, the inverse.